Hey, welcome to the Simple Nutrition Podcast, a show that helps you learn practical and actual nutrition tips from an expert. I am your host, Leonila Campos, a registered dietitian with over 8 years of experience in the nutrition field. Hey, welcome back to another episode in the Simple Nutrition's Insight Podcast. I am your host, Leonila Campos, registered dietitian, and today I want to talk about accountability. Now, this may seem like related to nutrition, but it's actually super important when it comes to our nutrition goals, when it comes to our fitness goals, but just in general, like pretty much any kind of goals that we have, having that accountability plays a huge role. Now, let's take, for example, when you have nutrition goals, right? And maybe you've tried different things. Maybe, you've done lots of different diets, or you've tried different plans. And like for some reason you feel like they're just not what you want, right? They're not aligned with what your goals are or like how your lifestyle is. And so we kind of fall off, right? I hear this often with my clients, like I fell off the wagon, right? And so oftentimes I also get clients that come to me and they say, I understand nutrition. I understand what I need to do. And I understand that in order for me to be able to be successful, I need somebody that holds me accountable, right? And that person is you. So they're talking to me. Now, it's not to say that we're not along the way, we're not going to learn other things about nutrition, right? That we know all about nutrition, but to them at that moment, hey, I know the basics and I know what I need to do, but for some reason I can't find myself or I cannot get myself to do it, right? Now, I can relate to that personally. Because as a business owner, as a private practice dietitian, right, when it comes to growing my business, when it comes to my revenue or whatever the case may be, although I have a master's in business administration, business is something that I did not learn in my undergrad, right? It was all science, which I love. It was all obviously nutrition based, but I never really had a class in my undergrad that talked about business, right? And so when I decided that I wanted to have my own business and be a private practice dietitian, I said, okay, well, what makes sense to me at that moment is to get my master's in business administration. So that way I learn more about that aspect of it, right? So I did that and I learned tons about business for sure. But I felt that I needed a plan to put it in practice, right? Of course, if I went into my MBA program, right, and then I went into like a business related field, right, where like I was able to use those skills to continue to develop those skills, it would have been a lot easier, right? But I was still working at a dialysis clinic, right? So I continued to develop the skills of a dietitian, a renal dietitian. But when it comes to business, I was still lost, right? I was like, okay, what? Like, I have all this knowledge, but I don't know how to apply it, right? I don't know how to put it into practice. And so what really helped me to really understand that is getting a business mentor, right? And because they had the skills, they had the knowledge, and they've done it before to help me with my business, right? To help me get going and like put all my knowledge into a plan, right? Sometimes, because believe it or not, sometimes when we have so much information and we know so much, but for some reason we don't have the skill or the tools to be able to put it into place, it can be very overwhelming, right? Our brains usually don't like to have tons of information at once because we just don't know what to do with it, right? We just become so overwhelmed, overloaded, and in the end, we're like, well, I don't know where to start. Forget it, right? And so, what has helped me is to get mentors and to get business coaches to guide me in like my business aspect of it, right? Same thing with fitness. Right? I have a certified personal coach who is my sister Maria. Although I've worked out pretty much all my life, right? I was an athlete, right, in like elementary, middle school, and I did cross country and track and field in high school. And I was more active in college, but not like professionally. So I knew the importance of fitness and overall well-being. But when it came to weight training, right? When it came to strength training, even running, I didn't really know where to start. And so my sister, Maria, who's younger than me, was more into fitness, right? She is a certified personal trainer. Since I can remember, right, she has created my fitness plans, right? So she creates the fitness plans and I follow them, right? I see results. Otherwise, it would be difficult for me there's so much information out there, right? And I can find it, like I can just say, oh, I'll follow that and I'll follow that. But there's not a guide, there's not really a plan that says, okay, we're going to follow these for about 4 to 6 weeks. We're going to keep track of progress. We're going to adjust based on your progress, based on your goals. And then, we'll create a new plan, a new phase, once we get there and you decide what you want to do and what your goals are. So together, my sister and I have been able to train for a triathlon. This is really interesting though, because I have to tell you this story. Then we'll get back into accountability. When she decided, or when she brought this idea to me, like, hey, let's do a triathlon, I was really nervous. Okay, let me step back. Full disclaimer, I have my younger son here because he's a little bit sick. So you're going to hear him. You can hear him now. Anyway, I think you're used to it. But let's keep going. So when she brought the idea to me, I said, okay, let's try it. I'm all for it. We had been doing running. Before I started doing strength training, I was a runner. I ran a lot. I did a half marathon. And we just ran for as a way of our physical activity. But so running wasn't like something that I was worried about. We started to do more cycling and I was okay with that too. But the swimming part, holy moly, I was really terrified, right? Because I knew how to swim, I knew how to float, how to get from one side to the pool to the next side, but nothing technical, right? I didn't know how to properly swim, like the strokes and the breathing. So when she said, okay, we're going to start training, right, for this triathlon, and like, at least 2 to 3 times a week, we're going to meet at GB3 and do our swims. I said, okay, fine. So she created the plan for us to get us ready for this triathlon. If I remember the first time when I got in the pool to swim, right, I was trying to hold my breath, like a beginner, right? Like hold my breath. I didn't even know how to breathe. And so in the middle of the pool, I was just like gasping for air. And I'm like, how am I going to do this? Right? Like it was so overwhelming. And I was so nervous and I was almost like not wanting to do it, right? Because it was something so new. And in my mind, I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to swim nonstop all these laps that I have to swim. And so, we talked about it and she said, you haven't done these. Don't worry. Just keep practicing, keep getting better at it, and you'll be fine. So we did that, right? Of course, I was still super nervous the day of the triathlon. And as we did it, right, as we got ready, I was, when we got into the swimming pool, right, obviously you're swimming with other swimmers. And there was a younger girl, and she was really fast. And my sister was pretty good, right? She was pretty good at swimming too. And so she's done first. And so, I think I still had like another four laps or so. And so as I'm done with my swimming, right, and I'm getting ready, I'm getting out of the pool, and I see like I was a few of the last ones to finish, right? Anyway, so I said, whatever, let's get into these 2 events because I know I'm going to be able to do better here. So I did my cycling, right, and that went well. I had those endorphins going. And so I came back, I dropped off. I almost fell out of the bike because I was trying to drink my water. Anyway, lots of fun events there. So I come back from the cycling part of it. And then I get ready for my running, right? So my legs obviously are like gelatin because they're like so wobbly. But, I get going with my running. I think it was like over 3 miles or something like that. And I'm trying to get some energy, making sure that, I'm not giving all out at the beginning and like not able to finish, the race. And so I think there was like another lap and they're like, yeah, there's one more lap. I don't know, some confusion there. And so as I'm coming, running into to finish, I'm like, where's everybody? And so, I finished, and like, to my surprise, I was like, I won like first place for my age. And of course that was a surprise to me, right? Because I did so not so as I wanted to in the swim part, but I knew that was going to be my weakest area, right? Because I hadn't done it for ever. I had never done a swim competition. And so what I learned about that, right, is like, as you put in the work, right, as you have a plan, as you have someone guiding you, someone supporting you, someone keeping you accountable, it plays a huge role, right? Because that person that is going to guide you and coach you and mentor you is not only to provide you those tools and resources that you need to get you better at it, but also that mindset part of it too, right? Because you're going to doubt yourself a lot of the times, right? You're going to feel like what you're doing is not enough, what you're doing, like, what's the point? And so having that person as your cheerleader, having that person to comfort you and support you and be like, hey, it's okay. We're going to have these days. We just have to pass through them. Things are going to be okay. Things are going to get better. Just keep at it, and you'll see the changes that you want to see. It's so rewarding, but it's also so needed, right? When you're not feeling like, hey, I'm not doing so well here. But I think that is, I wanted to really share that with you, because sometimes we feel like we have all the tools and information and resources that we need, but we just don't know how to put them into work or how to create an actionable plan, right? That is going to help us achieve those goals. And so having that person really helps. And as you get better at things, and as you improve, and as you achieve those goals, right, that person is also going to play a huge role into what's going to be next, right? And I think that also is so important because, again, I've done so many workout routines with my sister, right, with all the plans that she has given me. But every time we do a new phase, right, every time we have new goals that we want to accomplish. We've done a couple fitness photo shoots where we get ready for them, right, and our plan is different, or we want to do more running, right, and so our plans change, or we're in a phase right now where we're just trying to build more muscle mass. And so our workout routines are changing too, right? They're different versus like when we were doing our photo shoot. And so I think it really helps to feel like, okay, at this moment, this is what I need, right? These are my goals. Or for the next 3 to 6 months, this is what I want to accomplish. Because then that way you can create a plan. Once you get there, right? As you're getting there, then you can start to think about, okay, now what do I want? What do I want to accomplish for these next 3 to 6 months, right? How is my plan going to look like? Or maybe I just want to maintain, right? Like, so how that plan is going to look, because it's going to be different, right? Versus like you're either trying to, let's say, cut down body fat and increase muscle mass, right? Or you're in a phase where you're running more and decreasing your strength training. And so that it's going to be different when you're going to do your maintenance plan, right? And so I think that is important. And I think that is what really lacks in most of these other plans, right? Is that they just focus on the now and like, who cares about what you want to do later? Because then we don't have that vision, right? We don't know where to go or what to expect or what to do once we get there. And same thing with all the diets, right? We're just doing it now. And so then once we get tired of that, or once we don't want to do it, what happens after that, right? Because we don't have anything else. We don't have any other information. We don't know what else to do. We go back to what we were doing before. And so guess what's going to happen, right? All the weight is going to come back because that's what we were doing when we were at that stage, right? And so I think it is so important to really think about those things, because that's what's going to help you. That's what's going to help the person that is assisting you and supporting you to really have that vision, right? Or what you want to do, where you want to be, way beyond the weight loss, right? Way beyond the muscle building phase, way beyond achieving or doing that event, right? And it's really important. I've had clients that, we're working on like maybe weight loss, right? And then they say, okay, I want to train for a half marathon, right? And so then we switch focus. So instead of being on a calorie deficit, right now we have to make sure that you're fueling yourself properly. So that way you get your training going, you prevent injuries, right? But you're also getting that fuel that your body needs when you're training for that long distance. Let's say I have clients that come to me and they say, I've been working out a lot, and like I worked out every single day for over an hour. My workouts are intense, and I'm not seeing those changes in my body, right? Like I'm not seeing that muscle mass increase or that body fat. So this is called body recomposition. And like I just feel stuck, right? And so then as we look into their nutrition, like they're under eating, right? Or they're not eating enough protein or enough balanced meals. And so we work on that, right? It's interesting because I had a call today with a client, and she's like, I feel that I'm fueling my body properly, right? I was working with someone else before and I was hungry all the time. I know that with that plan, I wouldn't have been able to exercise as much as I'm exercising right now. And like I was eating the same foods. It's interesting because I gave her a recipe in her meal plan that had a zucchini, right? And she's like, can we substitute the zucchini for something else? Right. And like my answer is like, absolutely. There's so many other vegetables that we can add. But the previous plan that she had, she said, all I was having was chicken, rice, and zucchini nonstop. And so I understand completely, like who's not going to get bored of eating that food over and over and over, because maybe that person didn't have the tools, didn't have the knowledge as to like, hey, there are any other vegetables that we can add. One, not to get bored of eating that, but also because of variability, right? Different vegetables are gonna give us different nutrients and minerals and vitamins. And so it's important to add a variety, right? To get those different types of nutrients in. Anyway, I digress. I get so passionate about that. But it made me feel so happy, right? One, because she's not feeling that she's hungry all the time, right? Especially right now that she's exercising and she's in this phase of body fat loss and muscle increase, the body recomposition, that she needs to fuel up her body properly to get that energy so you can perform better, right, at the gym, or not to feel like you're craving things all the time, right? And so I think it's important to have somebody that has knowledge, and that aligns with your goals and that is going to help you and hold you accountable, not in a negative way, right? I've had all these other clients, I had this male client that told me, I wasn't sure if I wanted to join the session today because I went to Mexico on vacation, right? And to be honest with you, I didn't follow anything that we have learned. It was just like a free for all, right? And so he was like, I'm sorry that, I didn't follow my plan, or that I disappoint you, or that I disappointed you. And so my answer to that was, you did not disappoint me, right? I'm here to support you. I'm here to talk about the challenges. And I'm so glad that you enjoy your trip, right? Because essentially when we are changing our nutrition behaviors and our fitness behaviors, habits, is not to feel guilty when we don't do something, right? Is to make sure that the plan that we're following fits with our goals, fits with what we're doing, as opposed to we fitting for the plan, right? It doesn't make sense. And so then we talked about like, hey, all experiences are, our learning experience, right? We take this as a learning experience. We learn from it. If we have any lessons learned, if we don't, then that's okay. But we move forward, right? The more that we linger in the past, the more that we linger on the things that we're not doing, is just wasted energy and wasted time. And we don't have time for that, right? Let's learn from it and let's keep moving forward, right? And so I think it's important to understand that, right? And I tell all my clients too, like, I'm not here to punish you. I'm not here to like be this mean person and this dictator. I'm here to support you, right? Think of me as your coach. Think of me as your mentor. Think of me as someone that is, providing resources and tools to guide you and help you achieve your goals, right? Provide you with what you need in terms of nutrition and fitness. So that way you can achieve your goals and you'll learn how to make these healthy lifestyle changes so you can do them for the rest of your life, right? So anyway, I think it is so important to have someone by your side that, again, it aligns with your values. It aligns with what you want to accomplish. You get that support that you need, not only at this level of just resources and plans and whatever, but also at a level where you feel like, hey, I'm struggling, right? Where you feel comfortable and you feel safe to share that, right? I'm struggling and I'm not sure what to do. Let's talk about maybe a plan. Maybe we just have to sustain right now, maintain what we're doing and not change anything else because I'm really having a hard time. And that's okay too, right? It's not always about changing and progress. Sometimes we just have to maintain. And that's a huge win, right? I have some clients that are also struggling with just overall their mental health, right? And they're trying to figure that out, and they're trying to work with a health professional or a therapist to get that figured out while we maintain the things that we have worked up to that point, right? And that's fine too, right? We are a whole person, right? We're not only our stomachs or our brains. So we're this a whole person. And so we need to take care of ourselves in different levels. So if this resonates with you, right? If you feel like, yes, absolutely, I know what you're talking about. I know, I've had all these situations, all these feelings, and you're tired of like trying different things and trying just maybe diets or plans that don't work for you, or that, you follow and they're just so strict, or you're tired of eating broccoli, rice, and chicken, or zucchini, rice, and chicken. Just know that there is a different answer out there, right? You don't have to do that to achieve your goals. I think that is a super important part to remember as well, right? When I help my clients, right, it's not a one size fits all. We really sit down to think about, okay, what are your needs, right? What is happening? Tell me what, maybe it's going to help you achieve your goals, right? I have lots of resources, but I want to make sure that what we choose together, right, as a unit, is going to work for you and not the other way around. So I am actually going to, and I think this episode is going to air the day that my live workshop is going to be launched. But don't worry, right? If this is something that you're interested and you want to learn more about it, you can join the rest of the days. I'm doing this 9-day free workshop, right? Where I talk all about nutrition and how not to feel confused, right? Or frustrated that maybe all the plans that you have followed haven't worked for you. We're going to talk all about that, how to create like simpler, easier workouts that you can do at home, you can do on vacation and beyond. Same thing with nutrition, right? We're going to talk all about that as well. Like really simplify things to make sure that what you choose and what you follow really, really works for you. So I'm going to link that in the show notes, right? Check it out. Again, we're starting on Monday the 24th of June. And so you can join any of the days, right? We're going to, again, it's a 9-day free live workshop with lots of resources. So sign up, share it with somebody that you think is going to benefit from it. If for some reason you're not able to join it this time, don't worry. We can still work together. Shoot me a message, right? Podcast. I think you find it in Apple Podcasts, probably Spotify too. There is now a little link or icon where it says send me a text. You can send me a text there. You can also send me a direct text at 559-512-0404. 559-512-0404. If you have more questions, if you want to know more about how to work with me, let me know. But that is it, my friend. So hopefully this was great, right? Accountability is a huge part of change and success, not only in nutrition and fitness, but also in all other areas in your life. So if you're struggling in a different area that maybe is not nutrition, finding someone, an expert or someone that has, experience and that can help you through that, right? Business, financial, whatever it is. And it can benefit you. It can probably take you to the next level. So thank you for that. I'll see you in another episode. I'll talk to you in another episode, my friend. Stay safe and stay strong. Bye-bye for now. This podcast, the links and resources provided are for the purpose to educate only and are not a replacement for medical advice or nutrition therapy.
I suggest you seek out the help of a trained professional to help you with your specific situation and needs.